fucking Spider-Verse. Wait, fuck.
Blooper.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Far From Home.
Okay, so are we dealing with a motherfucking multiverse now?
So I have a theory on this. And it kind of comes from. Did you watch? There's a YouTuber, I don't know if anyone knows, by the name of Council of Geeks. Did you watch his video on this?
I have not. No.
So he is actually theorizing that it's gonna be bullshit for a couple reasons. That it's not actually gonna be a multiverse. One, imagine how hard it would be to do a multiverse live action. Like that's just hard to do. And once you open the door to a multiverse, it's just like so many levels of, you know what I mean? Like that can really just drive a series into the fucking ground. You know what I'm saying?
If I may, how fucking awesome would it be to get Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and Tom Holland Spider-Man all in the same movie?
That would be cool, but what's the likelihood of that, right? So multiverses work better.
I want emo dancey Spider-Man.
We kind of got it in Spider-Verse.
I know, but...
We don't talk about that part. But like, the main point though is I don't know the dude's name, but like this guy that's showing up from the comic books. Do you know what his name is?
Mysterio.
Right. Yeah. So the way that the Council of Geeks put it is,
Master of Illusions.
I don't know anything about this guy, but apparently the way Council of Geeks put it is this guy is like a master bullshitter.
Oh yeah, he is.
So the way that he's assuming, because again, I'm not a comic guy. That's why we got David here. I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark from the information I've been given that this master bullshitter here saw the Thanos snap shit and being like, ooh, I could trick them into thinking that I'm from a parallel universe or parallel Earth, right? Because I feel like just from a logistics standpoint, they would rather not go down the route of a multiverse because I feel like that would be, because once you do a multiverse, you're going to have fans just like yourself. Well, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? It just feels like a rabbit hole they wouldn't want to open, personally. So that's my kind of jaded guess as to, I think it's going to be like a gotcha. It's not really a multiverse.
I want to hear Nick Fury say motherfucker.
No, are they still allowed one? Is that how T works? Can they actually have one?
PG-13 is allowed one fuck.
Somehow I doubt it'll come in the Spider-Man movie. Like that's like you bring your kids to a Spider-Man movie, you know.
Motherfucker, you lied to me.
No, yeah, motherfucker, you put me to voicemail. You don't motherfucking ghost. Nick Fury. I love that
my
too.
favorite line from the fucking trailer is, "Bitch, please, you've been to space."
That is so good. And you know what's great about that? Like, to me, and keep in mind, like, I represent the movie only here. David represents the comic book fan. But as, like, a movie only, I took that as a perfect representation of, like, you know, you watch the other Spider-Mans, and it's just like, yeah, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. They just do shit in New York. The fucking MCU Spider-Man is already just, like, leagues and bounds above the other ones in terms of, like, what they've done and the experiences they've had. So I love that he's, like, he's trying to pull that, like, Tobey Maguire-esque, like, I'm just your friendly neighborhood Spider. Nick Fury's like, shut the fuck up. You've been to space. That's so great. That was because, like, that was like what I was thinking in my head too, and then Nick Fury said it, and I was like, yes.
If I may, Tobey Maguire had his emo I don't give a fuck dance, and
can we imagine Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in space for a second? Like, you can't imagine that.
I can, and it's pretty fucking cringe, and I love it. I love me a shitty movie, okay? Oh my god.
Then you should love Sonic the Hedgehog coming out in November.
Oh god, help us all. There's a limit to shit. But no. Then you have the Andrew Garfield CGI Electro. We're going to set up 30 million plot threads and then not utilize any of them.
I saw that movie in theaters, but that was like way before I actually like analyzed movies. Like I didn't like. That was one of those movies that I saw and didn't realize how shitty it was until later.
I realized how shitty it was when being a comic book fan. I'm like,
I was just
oh my god,
ooh, pretty colors.
I was like, ooh, pretty CGI, but goddamn, are they shitting on everything that Spider-Man is right now?
So
let's extend our license.
Here's what I do want to say. Here's what I'm really happy about. What did I say in our? Oh, I just smacked my microphone. I hope I'll have to see how that sounds in editing.
It didn't sound loud on my end. But...
All right. I was very happy because in our Endgame video, what did I say, David? I was like, I really hope that they go into Peter dealing with the loss of Tony and the world dealing with the loss of Tony.
And what did I say?
Fucking jumping right into that shit, and I love it. Because what I love so much about the MCU is some people don't like this. I've heard people that complain about this aspect, but I love the fact that it's a continuing storyline. I think Nostalgia Critic described it as the world's biggest TV show. You know, it's like a continuing TV show through films. You know what I mean?
What did I say in our fucking Endgame discussion?
I don't know.
A lot of the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer made a lot more sense now. Because when you watch like any analysis videos about the first trailer, and check for Stark Industries was signed by Pepper. Happy Hogan's handing the check instead of Tony. And now
everyone was like, this motherfucker dead.
This motherfucker gonna die. We all knew he was gonna die because his contract was up. But it all carries weight now. The sacrifices carry weight now.
See, that's
and
the
that's
kind of
something.
Shit, if I was Marvel, I would have been a massive troll and just had like Tony or Robert Downey Jr. film like one little shot in the trailer.
It was a hologram, kids.
No, that'd be great. Or I was gonna say I would have Robert Downey Jr.
Arc.
I would have him film another shot in the trailer, but then I forgot. I think every 30 seconds that Robert Downey Jr. films, it's like another mil. I'm kidding. That's a made up number, but it's fucking insane.
Like a Pira Nikos, John Arc training-esque thing. All right, kid. Now don't forget, this is how the suit works. Don't get yourself killed.
There was some fucking sketch I saw once where it was just like, hurry and start the next shot because Robert Downey Jr. is about to go to the bathroom and he charges us to use our toilets. It's insane. Did you see what it's something now like he has like a flat rate. Like he gets like a couple mil just for doing the movie, and then I think he takes in his contract, he takes something like 2.5% of what the movie earns.
Worth it.
I mean, he knows his worth at this point, clearly. But anyway, that's a little off topic. So, So, how do you feel about Peter dealing with the death of Tony and how he's like, how this is going to play into the movie here?
Okay, so I've always seen, since they've introduced Tony and Spider-Man, working together, I've always seen him as like the mentor, obviously. Mm-hmm. So Peter now dealing with that sense of loss, and the fact that, keep in mind, we haven't seen Aunt May. We haven't seen hot Aunt May.
Well, here, I don't know if you've realized this, and this is kind of cool, and again, I love that they're doing this, because this really distinguishes the MCU Spider-Man from every other Spider-Man, because they're making it their own. They're not just making Spider-Man's story contained to just the Spider-Man films. His story is the world, essentially, and I love that to death. So what I mean by that is, I don't know if you've noticed this, Tony Stark is kind of the Uncle Ben in this scenario. Have you seen it? That's fucking awesome. So like, fuck this Uncle Ben shit. We've seen it a million times. Tony Stark, Iron Man, is now his Uncle Ben. Now, because I think a lot of people were saying like, okay, first Spider-Man movie, that's cool, but what's his reason for being Spider-Man? We haven't really seen his like reason. He just is, right? Whereas now we're kind of getting his like whole reason to be a hero, and I like that idea. I like what Happy Hogan says. He says, I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know he was leaving you behind. So it's almost like a mantle now. You take it up, and even the cops are like, you gonna be the next Iron Man? That's fucking cool. And I like, again, some people don't like the direction that it's going. Like, I know I've heard some complaints like, oh, is he just gonna be Iron Man Jr.? But I like the idea that he's kind of his mentor, and he's got elements of Iron Man from, Iron Man being his teacher or mentor or whatever you'd call him, but also he has his own style added onto it. It's very similar to, Miles Morales. When he gets Spider-Man powers, he's not exactly like OG Spider-Man, Peter Parker. He's got the powers, and he does his own little thing with it. That's what I like about Peter Parker using Tony Stark's equipment. I think it's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I've always loved about the Spider-Man mythos. Like, no matter what Spider-Man you follow, be it Miles Morales, Ben O'Reilly, fucking Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, any of them, really, they have their own style, their own fucking finesse, their own fucking technique for being Spider-Man. And, I mean, even in the universe where Otto Octavius is fucking Spider-Man, fucking every single Spider-Man is different. and the MCU Spider-Man follows that suit perfectly. Now, there's one thing I don't like with the direction of this Spider-Man, and I hope they correct this.
I'm curious.
But he still has that carefree attitude.
I mean, but he's still a kid. He's like 15.
But after watching the Thanos snap, being snapped,
I don't
having
fully agree. I get where you're coming from, but
having that naivete and still being through all that trauma, they're not really. Hope this film kind of delves into that trauma, being like, I was fucking dead, and I came back. And now I have to take up that mantle of like, okay, Tony died for me. Everybody.
Well, I mean, it kind of seems like you're having a little of that in the trailer, where he's like, I can't stop thinking about him, and I keep seeing him everywhere. That kind of shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Stark Industries is worldwide, so he's going to see him no matter what.
Oh God, that's depressing. That's actually, you truly cannot escape from that.
It's a depressing thought. So obviously, yeah, he's going to deal with it. But you still see him carefree. I'm going on a field trip. I don't want to be Spider-Man right now. And
I think that's fair though, because he's got to have that immaturity. He can't just like all of a sudden.
You definitely can't just drop being a teenager, dealing with puberty, dealing with girl problems, dealing with all that. Obviously,
yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what you see in this dude. He's like, I got to stop being Spider-Man because I really, really, really want a nut.
I think MJ likes me.
That's them teen problems. # teen problems.
So I'm going to be curious if they dive into that trauma aspect, and I'm going to be curious if they show the weight of the consequences here.
So here's I have a retort question for you. Well, two questions. First question is, did we ever find out through the Iron Man movies? Because I recently rewatched the first Iron Man, and his whole originally his company they were basically war weapons, right? They were kind of like your Raytheons, your Boeings that they made weapons of war. And then Tony wanted to stop that, and then the other guy didn't want to stop that. Yada yada. Do we know what they ended up doing? Like, what does Stark Industries do now? Do we know?
Tech.
I assume he would be making shit like helpful shit, peaceful, helpful shit. I'd be curious if that's never been said. Maybe I should wiki that shit. I'd be curious what that would be if that's never been said. And the other thing I wanted to ask you was, because I think that the best example to show how delicate of a situation showing trauma through a character, it's a very delicate thing. And the best situation to show that is Ichigo. Kubo tried to make Ichigo traumatized after the whole Hollow shit, and by doing so, he basically just robbed. And we're talking about Bleach, by the way, if you're not a manga fan for some reason. Kubo just robbed Ichigo of all character by doing that, basically, and because his idea of trauma was just make him bitch and emo the whole time, right? So I guess the question is, if they're gonna do that with Tone or Peter, they really have to strike that balance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of did it when they killed off Gwen Stacy originally, and every time they've killed off Gwen Stacy, they've kind of done it, after MJ died, and, blah, 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 and then retcon after retcon after retcon. # comic life. But, no, there's ways to portray trauma really well.
Well, I mean, we kind of had that because Tony, after, diving into the fucking wormhole with the nuke, They did it really well with him. I mean, he was shaking, couldn't sleep, had the PTSD. I guess my thing is I don't want to
I mean, they kind of did it after the whole New York incident too.
That's what I meant. That is the New York incident.
But also they kind of did it when he came back from Afghanistan and saw his own fucking missiles being used.
Oh yeah,
as well.
For sure. So my thing is I don't want to see an exact repeat of that with Peter.
No.
So I guess how do you think it should be done exactly?
It's different seeing it through a child's eyes.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're obviously dealing with a child in Peter. Now, what I would want to see them dive into is how does a kid cope? Because the core audience for Spider-Man forever will be younger kids because to them Peter's a more relatable character than say your Captain America, your Incredible Hulk, or your fucking Winter Soldier, you know. So I honestly, I think what their best option would be is like Peter going to like therapy, fucking
That'd be cool.
having to deal with
What therapist? It would have to be like a therapist set up by Nick Fury, though. Because, like, what therapist is going to be qualified to be like, okay, so I went to space, and 7 magical... not 7, how many was it? 5?
6?
So whatever. I went to space, these magical stones killed all my friends and me, and now I'm back.
Jesus Christ, dude. And then the therapist is sitting there sleeping to fly. I was like, I think I need therapy.
Yeah, I actually was one of the ones that was snapped away. I saw endless nothingness forever.
I saw a bright light, and then I sat there forever because #religion's bullshit.
I don't know how you could say that, David. No one knows. I don't. You don't.
I mean, for fucking context sake, for a movie, it'd be like, I stared into the great nothingness, and then just a white screen. Saves the CGI budget for the fucking
the sad part
villains.
was I was gonna make the same joke, but I didn't want to go there because I didn't want it to be a fucking debate. That is a funny joke, David. Life can't be meaningless, David. Don't take this away from me.
No, but realistically, a lot of the CGI budget is going to go to like Hydro Man and all that fucking shit that they've got.
Yeah,
because
I guess I don't know anything about as the comic boy here. So
okay, let me pull it up.
Green Energy Man. I want to know. So first, Green Energy guy. That's Mysterio.
Yeah.
What's his deal? Give me a rundown on his deal in the comics. What's his thing?
While I pull up the Far From Home villains, I'll give you a Mysterio rundown. So he's a master of illusions.
Is he like the Marvel's version of the Riddler?
No, not entirely. He'd be closer to a Chris Angel style character.
Oh my God, the Mind Freak!
Mind Freak!
I am the Mind Freak.
All right. So basically, he magician, special effects guy. Think a lot of smoke and mirrors where there really shouldn't be.
I'm down with illusions. I like illusion characters.
So my real gripe with the whole thing here for Mysterio being in here is I honestly, even as a comic book guy, I don't fucking recall him and Spidey ever teaming up. And Spidey's teamed up with a lot of villains.
That's fine. I don't mind them going in a different direction.
Oh no, it's just weird seeing somebody that's always been at odds.
Do you want to know the other theory I'm hearing? What if that is Loki?
Oh God.
Yo!
No.
The whole time.
No.
Oh my God.
Fuck Loki.
And then that leads into Loki's fucking like show. Loki and Spider-Man.
No, just no.
But David, how will we make all the fangirls gasm if it's not Loki?
By giving them fucking Jake Gyllenhaal.
I won't name. That's actually also all the girls like Tom Holland as well. I won't name names, but there's a certain stereotypical, like, yaoi fangirl that David and I both know that was literally pissed when Loki died. Like, and I was like, you are so predictable. Like, why? Why? Is it because you're attracted to him?
Why? Because you want fucking his dick in you?
What is it about women and, like, liking the skeezy villain douchebags?
Because daddy issues?
Oof. I actually watched this, like, there was, like, an analysis on that shit, and it was something about, like, I think it was MatPat, actually, was going over why Loki is so irresistible. And, like, one of the things was, like, you can pity him because, and it's, like, kind of like you said, right? Like, you can almost parent him. Like, the amount of times he, like, fails or falls on his face, they feel bad for him. But he's also got that, like, bad boy mystique. It's really interesting. There's a lot of psychology behind it.
Oh, yeah. So the other villains is Hydro Man, Morris Bench. Uh, this motherfucker has been in everything from the Frightful Four to the Sinister Six.
It's a lot of numbers and adjectives in front of numbers.
He's just your typical bitch boy B-list villain. Power over water. It's fucking one of the most worthless villains.
Which makes me think he's not going to be the main villain. That's a decoy. We all know it. Come on.
Oh yeah. They're billing them as the Elementals.
I still feel like this Mysterio guy is going to end up being bad. Am I the only one that thinks this?
Oh, more than likely.
Like even without knowing shit about him in the comics, I'm like, this guy's too. I need your help. Like we could have used you on my world. I was like, nah, I don't trust you.
No kidding. So, Molten Man is the other elemental here.
Now, are these all confirmed to be in the movie, or are you just going off of elementals here?
I'm literally pulling up the fucking wiki because I'm not really into B-list villains, so I was pulling up a lot of.
So it's basically like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like you just got a bender of each type for the villains here.
Yeah, pretty much. I knew Molten Man sounded more familiar than fucking Hydro Man. He was part of Alchemax.
These are some like 1950s-esque villains, aren't they?
Fucking
pick an element and they control it. There you go.
Publication history. The character was created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, and the Amazing Spider-Man number 28 in 1965.
Called it.
And Hydro Man was in the Amazing Spider-Man 212 in 1981. It was created by Dennis O'Neil and John Romita Jr.
Wow, one of them's a Stan Lee classic, huh?
Uh-huh. But yeah, Alchemax is more of the Miguel O'Hara
Sounded
style.
like you said Malcolm X for a second.
No, we're not getting too political.
We accidentally... Wait, is Malcolm X dead? He is, right?
No, I think so.
I don't know. Wait. Malcolm X. Wait. Is Malcolm X dead?
Malcolm X died.
Yeah. Okay, I can make the joke I wanted to. We accidentally snapped back Malcolm X. Tony Stark was a big fan, and he was really thinking about him while he was snapping.
But yeah. So here's a fucking interesting part about this fucking Molten Man. Organic liquid metal alloy. Fucking chemical engineer. And he's got fucking radiation projection.
Oh.
So yeah.
I'll kill you slowly, agonizingly, and it will be very sad for your family. Come on, that was a good dark joke. Take it.
Yeah, it is. I was debating between an oof or goddamn.
Oof, damn.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting that they're recruiting these B-list villains.
Yeah, they sound really boring, so I hope that they either MCU them up and make them interesting, or they're just, decoys and we get an actual villain. What do you think? I mean, the movie looks good. Like, the trailer is making me hyped for it, but like just the description you gave me of the villains, I was like, eh.
Yeah, like these are pretty much one-offs. The most important role that fucking Molten Man's actually played was in Civil War, and he was a fucking decoy.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's like in. I'm trying to think of a good example. That's like in fucking Bleach, where remember those like the three girls that made like the fucking Aya. You won't even remember that the monster.
Yeah,
like it's just like let's bring back random minor character number 12 to like be killed by the new villain. Like I love it when they do that.
Yeah, and basically all of them have been in like the Civil War. A couple have been in, both of them have been actually in like Brand New Day, Spider Island, shit like that. They are part of the Spider-Man mythos, and most of the time they're used as bait or decoys or.
Wow, it sounds like they might be used as bait or decoys in the movie.
Like, it's pathetic. That's the one thing I'm like, you're being very predictable, and it almost feels like they're trying to be way too safe with Far From Home because it's coming off of uber depressing Endgame where we killed off, or wrote out of the fucking storyline most of our A-list heroes, so we got to build up Spider-Man, and we got to build up, Nick Fury again, and we got to build up.
I don't mind
all
that.
this other.
I'm not looking like it doesn't need to be huge stakes. I mean, give them a fucking break, and like they just did Infinity War and Endgame. I'm not expecting anything massive.
Oh no, like after Civil War, we had Ant-Man and fucking Black Panther, and we're building everything up for the next fucking big movie.
Speaking of, okay, so when they're talking about, like, when he's like, why is it gotta be me? What about Thor? Off-world. Captain Marvel, unavailable. So, one, Thor, off-world. So, he confirmed he is fucking, probably traveling with the Guardians of the Galaxy still, which I love. And please,
as Guardians of the Galaxy,
please put him in 3. Do not fuck me on this, okay? That shit's all.
I want
You want?
as Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Oh, please.
Fucking Thor. I want an as Guardians of the fucking Galaxy. I fucking need Thor
You know what?
and
They've
Star-Lord
done so well with Thor 3. Because, Thor's character took a massive shift for Thor 3, right? Like, after Avengers, he kind of lightened up and got funnier and shit. So, like, they made him funny. So now he really could fit in with the Guardians of the Galaxy, So I really hope that happens. And then, of course, Captain Marvel is basically just going to be, like, show up, like, basically never, apparently. That's the vibe I'm getting from her.
You got a world-ending event, I'll come and I will fucking Saitama shit.
If your planet is actually at stake, maybe I'll come on, like, if it's a fucking Tuesday and I'm not busy or something. But then, my next questions are, okay, Doctor Strange, what's he up to? Ant-Man, what's he up to?
Here's my major, question on that. If this is really a multiverse issue, wouldn't fucking Doctor Strange be the expert in multiverses?
I still don't think I really think that's bullshit. I don't think it's gonna be. Yeah.
I don't doubt it. That is Mysterio 101.
He's gonna be like, because think about it. That is pretty smart. Who's gonna question you if you're like, yeah, I came from an alternate reality? Think about it.
I came from Earth 8083.
The snap shit. I would be willing to believe anything. If a fucking pony came out and talked to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, Thanos probably did that somehow. I don't know. There are fucking stones that can make it. He made a man into ribbon. He made Drax, the manliest man, into ribbon.
Whose best fucking scene in Endgame still triggers me. He's just standing there going, "Ah!"
No, he did some back shanking.
That's it, though.
Listen, man, it's hard. They had to fit everyone in. Everyone got at least one scene, okay?
Everyone got 30 seconds or less.
Bruh. Oh, my God. You know what's funny? I'm getting, I actually saw a feminist page. Remember how we were talking about the scene with the women? That was, really forced? And to clarify, we love the Whammon characters, but, not like that, because it's just,
Don't shoehorn an A4 scene in.
Yeah, so now I'm seeing, it's so weird, because I'm seeing complaints on both ends, right? So this one, it's almost it's funny, I'm seeing complaints from feminists about that scene, too, but it's, complaints from the other direction, where they're like, we deserve more, right? And I'm like, I agree in the sense that they should have been, actual characters that, I don't know, I want to read this tweet to you, because I'm curious what you think. I was going to sit on this and not say anything, but Marvel doesn't deserve this scene. Most of these characters have never interacted. This bit was tokenistic, patronizing, and not earned at all. We should expect more than flashy breadcrumbs. We deserve better. What do you think about the way that's worded?
I mean, they're not wrong.
I just couldn't tell if it was one of those... that was one of the first complaints where I've been I can't tell what direction you're complaining from. Do you mean you deserve more in a really cringy SJW way, more whammon, or did they mean it in a substantive way? I could not tell.
I can't tell either,
but yeah, maybe... if that person means it in the sense that that was basically just a lazy way for them to be look, we're inclusive, and you should have actually made it feel natural, then yes, I agree.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's off topic. I'm sorry. I that's a thing I do sometimes.
Yeah, I got, like you said, I gotta agree if it's like that, but goddamn, and I can complain about that all day because fucking it was so forced. But what I really want to see here, and I want your thoughts on Mysterio's outfit, because take a good look at Mysterio's outfit. It kind of looks like Asgardian armor.
Loki!
It's not Loki, because Loki would not be wearing that much armor. Even when he was portraying Thor, he did not wear that much armor.
I would laugh so hard if it was Loki. Okay, I'm looking at it.
And his,
I don't know.
it looks Asgardian.
Right. Bruh, I'm looking at Mysterio in the comics. It's like fish, like green.
It's a fucking green
Under
outfit.
Armour, fishnets all around his body are looking shit, and then like a yellow ass fucking dome on his head and a purple cape.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's Remy Tim.
Bro, if you just fucking color swapped that to purple and orange, it would be Remy Tim. Interesting.
So, Achievement Hunter fans, I need Jeremy as Mysterio fan art.
Okay, so I don't know, man. Like, again,
No,
I just imagine my actual guess is that he's gonna be bullshitting. It's like, haha, I tricked you into doing something, and now I'm the bad guy. Fight me. Like, I'm not sure what it's gonna be, but yeah, my actual hope for cringy reasons is it'd be hilarious if it was Loki. It's not gonna be, but that'd be fucking funny.
it would be funny and it would be forced.
But I don't care, cause Loki. Haha! Imagine Loki hasn't interacted with Spider-Man yet.
You know, Ron, he hasn't. He has not.
Fucking funny. It's not gonna be Loki. To clarify, I'm not actually entertaining that as an idea. It's not gonna be it. But like, God, that'd be funny.
I mean, them together and like cartoons and shit have some funny back and forth. So, I would love to see.
I was rewatching the scene where in Ragnarok where Thor and Loki interact with Doctor Strange. That shit's so funny. Doctor Strange is OP. Like there are some moves I'm like, how would anyone get out of that? Like, do you remember what Doctor Strange just sent Loki into like a permanent falling dimension? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I've been falling for 30 minutes. How do you get out of that? If you just do that to someone, all right, like, why didn't he do that to Thanos?
Right?
I mean, okay, you can make the argument if he did it to Thanos when he had the fucking Infinity Gauntlet, yes, he could get out of it. But, like, Doctor Strange is one of those characters where, like, every situation they're ever in, you can think of a way Doctor Strange can get them out of it.
Doctor Strange is one of the most powerful fucking people in the Marvel Universe.
I kind of want to watch that death battle that Screw Attack did with him and Dr. Fate.
Oh, God. They're both OP as fuck.
Oh, I love Doctor Strange. I can't wait. I'm just happy that there's a sequel for Doctor Strange coming. That shit's gonna be so fucking cool.
First Marvel character to ever make a villain rage quit.
Yes. That's so good. So,
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
How do you feel about SJW and MJ? And but not in a cringy way. She's like a memeing SJW type. Like, I like her sense of humor is like pretends to be SJW-y. And I think that's interesting. And like legitimate, like that's kind of probably how like a lot of Gen Zers or whatever the fuck they are would act. I mean, because I make those kind of.
Can we come up with a stable fucking name for that generation and quit fucking dicking it around everywhere?
Well, it's funny, she does the whole like, and genuine like lines that would be like, oh my god, like one of my favorite lines is, I don't remember if it's from a trailer for this one or from the last movie, where he's like, oh, you're so beautiful or whatever, and then she's just like, oh, and my beauty defines my value or something. And it's just like, no. Like, that's actually like so funny, and I like that they did it without being cringy. Like, I actually quite like this MJ because she makes it very clear that like those moments she's always like, ha, just messing with you, right? Like, if that was legit, I'd be like, you're a bitch. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Let the kid talk. But I mean, she's clearly messing with him, and I kind of like this. She's empowering. Like, she's a powerful person, personality wise, without it feeling girl powery forced, you know what I mean? She just feels like her own person, and I like that.
I definitely like.
And I also like that she's smart enough to just be like, "You're fucking Spider-Man." It's like, come on.
Exactly.
You jumped out of a school bus, like everyone saw it.
Like, it's definitely an interesting take on MJ. I mean, MJ's always been kind of cringy in her own right without being really cringy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I remember Tobey Maguire MJ was nothing special, if I remember correctly, other than I just don't remember much about her other than she had like a Broadway show that he'd missed or something.
And just I'm the token female character.
Yeah, and then the other one died, right? Or some girl died in the
Gwen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what was I gonna say? So let's be honest here. Are we gonna have the scene that every Spider-Man has to have, the upside down kiss with MJ in this one?
I think it might be the threequel.
You think we're gonna wait till the third one to get the upside down kiss? Get the fuck out of here! No,
I think it'll.
They've made a very clear point that in this trailer that one of Peter's goals in this movie is, I'm ready to deal with my girl stuff. Like I'm going for the girl.
I think it'll be the threequel because
no.
At this point, he's more focused on filling that role of I'm being mentor-ish with Mysterio, being forced into this by Nick Fury, and Nick Fury already wants to kill me or put a fucking spy dart in my neck.
Oh my god, I just thought of an amazing...
Because I parented him.
I just thought of a really funny
I sent that bitch to voicemail.
I just thought of a really funny potential scene. What if in order to help him, what if like the deal that Spider-Man makes is, okay, I'll help you if you be my wingman, Nick Fury.
Oh god.
I just want to imagine Nick Fury as Spider-Man's wingman.
Okay,
like, Spider-Man's just going in, and then Nick Fury over the fucking intercom like, just do it, motherfucker.
No. No, it'll be, motherfucker, I'm not your wingman. Throw a pair of balls.
No, you know what he's going to do? He's going to be like, you got to put your hand on his shoulder, look her in the eye and say, hey. Crossover. Now we need to see live action Spider-Man do the, hey.
Hey.
Oh, man, please. They need to do what they did with Ragnarok and just let them improv some scenes. That shit was gold.
And Tom Holland's great at improv.
He's also good at spoiling things, so keep an eye out on Tom Holland's Instagram.
His Instagram, his Twitter, his Facebook, whatever. Yeah. Goddamn.
Final thoughts for you. I almost called you Thurman. Final thoughts for you, David.
I will go down to Walker and I will put my size 13 up your ass if you call me Thurman.
Listen, I film a lot of things with him.
And you film like 3 with me a month.
Hey, well, we're upping it, okay? Every Marvel thing's getting a video. Chainsaw Man's getting a video. And then pick another fucking series and we'll do one of that.
Suck a dick and read
fucking
read Sacrificial Vote and we can film an ending of the series video.
Oh, is that actually over? I saw that you sent that.
I'm sad. I'm a sad boy.
Sad boy.
We might get a sequel, though. That's awesome.
So final thoughts on this trailer and predictions going into the movie.
Okay, final thoughts. What I want, I definitely want the heel turn from Mysterio. I kind of want Vulture to break out of prison.
He had his own movie. I want new. I'm sick of Vulture.
Here's why I want Vulture to break out of prison. Because we were supposed to get a Sinister Six film in the Andrew Garfield verse. But we never got that. We can start building a Sinister Six, and then the threequel can be Spider-Man having to deal with the Sinister Six, and it can lead into potentially a crossover with the rest of the new Avengers, and that can lead into that.
See, it sucks that I'm guessing from the Venom movie, Sony still owns Venom completely or something. I just want to see Marvel do it right.
You know, I give Sony a lot of shit for their handling of fucking Spider-Man, but Venom wasn't horrible.
It wasn't?
It wasn't horrible. And that's me giving the best fucking qualification I can give it. It's like a 6 out of 10. And that's saying a hell of a lot for a Sony Spider-Man movie.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't know, man. I don't know a lot of Spider-Man villains, but it's looking good to me. I mostly love it because it's kind of like it really does feel like you're kind of watching like it feels like the next step after Endgame, you know, like the world's recovering, Peter's taking off that mantle. I'm very excited to see how he emotionally handles it. I'm loving that Nick Fury's back in this, and I love that throughout this entire thing, it does not seem like Samuel Jackson's going anywhere. I think he's loving the Nick Fury part, and I love that he's sticking with that part. I think that's fucking awesome. So before this video hits 40 minutes, I'm gonna wrap it up. Final thoughts for you under 30 seconds.
Final thoughts for me is definitely going to see it. I do want one thing out of this movie, and I know I'm not going to fucking get it. And I will save that for another video because the review.
All right. Well, I guess with that ominous hint, peace.